All right, you guys, it's the month of May. Now, I fully believe that the next Nintendo Direct was always going to be in June 2026, and the reason behind this is simple. Yoshi and the Mysterious Book already had the date of May 21, 2026, and I don't think Nintendo's going to do anything to distract from the marketing campaign in that game. And so I've always kind of felt like June was going to be like we had the dates for this half of the year all the way up until June. That's when it kind of cuts off, is that Yoshi game. So we only have like a month left to that. I thought it'd be fun to do a little bit of a prediction video, kind of go off what we know with the rumors that are going around and kind of slot down for the rest of the second half of Nintendo's year what I think that they're going to end up doing, what games are going to come out each month, and other announcements. So first off, I want to start out with the June. And I think June's going to be the day of the Nintendo Direct. And I think what they're going to do is they're going to shadow drop a Star Fox game. There's no announcement date for a June game. They skipped straight to July for Splatoon Raiders. So we have May for Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, and then we go to Splatoon Raiders in July, leaving June completely empty. It is perfectly prepped for a shadow drop. I fully believe there's a Star Fox game that's coming out because of the Mario Galaxy movie. And I think realistically what it will be is going to be a remaster of Star Fox 64. And yes, that will be basically the fourth time Nintendo releases Star Fox 64. I think a lot of the people who have been very hyped from the Nate the Hate leaks are going to be very disappointed. But I think at the same time, if Nintendo's goal is to bring in a new audience of people, nothing's but like the classic Star Fox 64 is a complete proven game. And I think there's some quality of life features like saving, which will actually be, very useful for me since I only get to play like 15, 30, 45 minutes a day. And it's like an hour-long game, but widescreen, 4K graphics, pretty much the Metroid Prime 1 remaster treatment, but with Star Fox 64 shadow drops. And I think that's going to just lay a foundation for, hey, Star Fox is back, and then we'll get the big Star Fox game later. I don't know if it'll be next year or in 2 years or 3 years, but I'm not expecting too much right now, and I think just a remastered Star Fox 64 really fits in well with Nintendo's 2026 slate. July is obvious. We already have Splatoon Raiders announced for July, but I think that's boring right now if it's just that. Like, we already have that, so if they go into a Direct and they just skip July, I think the fact that Splatoon Raiders is already confirmed for July really, preps July for the perfect month for DLC. Right, like Nintendo releases one big game every month. I think was it September of 2025 when Kirby Air Riders came out, but that wasn't the only thing that came out that month. I'm pretty sure that the Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC came out that month too. You can fact check me on that, but Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC wasn't the only thing that came out the month that Donkey Kong DLC came out, or maybe it was a Switch 2 edition of Kirby and the Forgotten Lands. Either way, I think with Splatoon Raiders, I think there's going to be some kind of DLC announcement, and I believe that will be a Mario Kart World DLC. It's been about a year. It will have been over a year in July since Mario Kart World came out, and there's been no substantial update, no DLC or anything like that. So Mario Kart World is a game that is completely built for DLC, right? If you compare the base vanilla game of Mario Kart World to the base vanilla game of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Mario Kart World is awesome. I ended up really loving Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with, especially when you add in those booster course sets. It turned out to be an awesome game at the end. I do think Mario Kart World is going to be very similar. And one of the ways I think they're going to handle the DLC is they're going to probably do other islands that you can hop on the water and drive out to. And I think that's where you're going to get your crossover characters, right? Mario Kart 8, they started adding in crossover characters like you have Link and you have Splatoon and all of that. And I think Mario Kart World will take that to the next level where if they do add in Link as a driver and like Hyrule courses, I think they are going to do a Hyrule Island. And then, that leaves they can have a Splatoon Island and, almost like a theme park kind of. So you have the big Mario Kart World Island in the center and then islands scattered around it for your DLC. They can always be adding more islands, and then you drive out to it, and then there's a whole bunch of courses there that link up and all of that. And I do think that they will go Zelda for this one because, well, big surprise or big spoiler alert, Zelda Ocarina of Time remake, right? So with those leaks with Nate the Hate, yeah. Oh, big prediction on my part. Ocarina of Time remake, yeah, that's coming up. But I think that the Mario Kart World DLC will co-align with Zelda to help just continue to promote Zelda's 40th anniversary. Right, we had a lot of Mario 40th anniversary in the first half of the year. Transition over to Zelda's 40th anniversary. Zelda, Mario Kart World DLC, Hyrule Island, or whatever want to call it. I believe that will probably also come out in July. I don't think they're going to wait too long after announcing a Mario Kart World DLC and then releasing it. August is a month I think they're going to give a break to all the consumers and do a Switch 2 edition of a game. If we go with the Nate the Hate rumors, that would be Switch 2 Sports. Could be possible. But I'm going to go with Pikmin 4. I'm going to go Pikmin 4 Switch 2 edition. We know Miyamoto loves Pikmin. I think Pikmin 4 is such a better game than Nintendo Switch Sports to fit in the library of Switch 2 first party Switch 2 edition games. And that's a game that I really would like to see more content to. If they do Pikmin 4 plus, the $20 DLC or all of that. I thought Pikmin 4 was a fantastic game, a fantastic evolution of the series. I think more people should play Pikmin. It's mine and my wife's one of our favorite games, Pikmin. We'll trade the controller back and forth unless it's Pikmin 3 and you can actually play co-op. A co-op edition or some kind of co-op game mode in Pikmin 4 would be incredible. That was just a huge step back from Pikmin 3 in my opinion, but at the same time they did progress the series forward so much, and so I really think there's a lot of room for some good DLC in Pikmin 4, and a Switch 2 edition would be awesome. As for Switch Sports, maybe it is Switch Sports Switch 2 edition. But I don't know. I think Switch 2 or Switch Sports Switch 2 edition is a lot weaker of a lineup because I actually think Switch Sports is low-key a system seller for a lot of casuals, right? Like, you and me were probably not that huge into Switch Sports. Maybe we picked it up. I know I did. I didn't play it all that much. But it sold a lot of copies. I think it sold something like 15 million copies, Switch Sports. And so, like, low-key, there's just people who are not part of, like, the vocal gaming internet discussion, like, community or whatever, that, don't talk about games online. 15 million people, they probably pick up a Switch for, Mario Kart and Mario Tennis and Mario Party and Switch Sports because it reminds them of Wii Sports. I honestly would think that Nintendo, like, I don't know if they would have a Switch Sports Switch 2 edition and a Nintendo Switch 2 Switch Sports. I think they should just make a brand new original game that's just like Nintendo Switch 2 Sports. I don't know if porting over that one is as good of a move. But I can also see it at the same time, right? Like, just get a game out there that, checks off that box for that casual market. But I think there's room for just a brand new, well, we got 8 to 10 years of the Nintendo Switch 2, right? And I can't really see them putting more than one Switch Sports title on the console. And I would rather see a brand new one than a Switch 2 edition if I had a pick. September, I think, is the month that we'll see the release of Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. I think for this June Direct, this is going to open the Direct as it closed out the last big Nintendo Direct. And, so I think it's going to open the Direct. We're going to get some more information on the actual gameplay and just more information about the story and all of that. And I think September's a pretty good month. That's kind of the start of, the holiday season where they kick off the big games. Again, Kirby Air Riders came out in September of 2025. And we had a packed, September, October, November, December of 2025. And with Ocarina of Time Remake most likely coming out in November, Fire Emblem, like, don't sleep on it. That's a big game. Fire Emblem's never really clicked with me. I'm going to give this one a chance. I never gave a console one a chance. I've only played the Game Boy Advance ones, so I'm not even that deep in it. But I love what Nintendo's doing with the Switch 2 in terms of the game lineup, not talking about prices or anything like that. And so, yeah, I want to give this Fire Emblem a chance. And I think September's a good month to kind of kick it off. Because, again, just because, like, it's a bigger game than most people give it credit for. Like, it is show closer worthy of a Nintendo Direct. It's a show opener worthy of a Nintendo Direct. It's niche at the same time, right? Like I feel like it's at the same level of like Xenoblade or something. You love it or you hate it, or I don't know. It has really dedicated fans, and so I think it's a very appropriate one to kick off the holiday season with. So I'm going September for Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. I think last October we had Pokemon Legends ZA as the big first party game, but I'm pretty sure Pokemon Company is skipping this year, and they're not going to release anything too big. I think we're going to see Gen 10 Pokemon come out in spring 2027. And so for this October, I don't think they're going to release anything too crazy big. I think this is going to be an opportunity for them to release kind of one of those, again, a smaller niche title. I'm going to go Famicom Detective Club, or something very, very similar to that. Something that I think that's going to be people are not that excited for, but again, it's just going to check that box of like for the very niche fans of that, of that game, or that franchise. So visual novel in this case. I think October is going to be slotted with something that is just really not that crazy. I'm gonna go Famicom Detective Club. They remade the original two from the NES. Then they did the Smiling Man. I think they're gonna keep the momentum going for that niche audience, and I think they're gonna make another one. It's probably not that crazy hard in terms of the development costs to make those kinds of games. And again, just like when you look at the library games, especially when you're seeing like Ocarina of Time remake in November. And then you got Fire Emblem, which has big hardcore fans. I don't think they were going to do anything too crazy. Like, I don't think that it's going to be just so incredibly loaded of all these big games this holiday season. Like, we're not going to get a 3D Mario and an Ocarina of Time remake and Fire Emblem, like, all at once. I think they're just going to cater to that niche audience who, are just going to buy, like, they're the only audience that's going to buy that game, and they'll buy it every time, right? Not that big of an audience, but it's not going to distract from the other big sellers either. So we're going to go a new Famicom Detective Club for October. November, we're going Ocarina of Time remake, right? I know it's still a rumor from Nate the Hate and all of that, but I believe it's true. Nintendo, they release a new Zelda game every year. Last year was Hyrule Warriors. Whether you include that as a Zelda game or not, Nintendo clearly does. That took up the slot for last year. The year before that was Echoes of Wisdom. The year before that was Tears of the Kingdom. I think Ocarina of Time remake makes so much sense for this year. It's the 40th anniversary. It's gonna be a system seller. I'm gonna get it. You're gonna get it. Like, I'm gonna like it. You're probably gonna like it. I don't know if I agree with it completely. We don't know what it's gonna be like. I think I have a more concrete idea of what I want this remake to be. So that's probably a video I'll make pretty soon, unless they announce it and reveal all that information before I get the chance to make or release it. But I got my thoughts solidifying for what I would like for a remake that would really make me happy for it. But yeah, I think we're gonna get that. I think we're gonna get a Nintendo Switch 2 special edition console and all of that. That is only gonna come with the digital version. You're gonna have to pay $80 for the physical version. It's absolutely gonna be an $80 game. It's gonna be like their second $80 game since Mario Kart World, not including the Switch 2 editions that include the DLC and all that. And so people are definitely going to complain about the $80. We're going to get some new amiibo for Ocarina of Time. It's going to be this big old celebration. And yeah, Ocarina of Time remake, November slot. Very, very, very brave prediction there. And that brings us to December, the last month of 2026. And I think this is just going to be another, like, not that big of a game, very much like October. December historically never really sells that well. Ocarina of Time remake will be coming out in November, so you can't do too much to follow that up. Whatever follows it up just isn't going to do that good, so it's kind of a throwaway game, much like October with the Famicom Detective Club. I'm going to go Fitness Boxing 4. It's been a couple years since the last one. And, again, that kind of checks the box for just Nintendo Switch 2 software library, well-rounding it, kind of that rhythm fitness game. We don't really have anything like that on the Nintendo Switch 2 right now. I don't think it makes sense to do a Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Fitness Boxing 3. Like, just pump out another one, put it out there. It's going to have a tiny marketing campaign. Everyone's going to be like, what is this? Nintendo 2026 holiday was really weak. All there was Ocarina of Time remake and, arguably Fire Emblem. But that's how I feel that this holiday season is gonna roll out. And so yeah, just some small throwaway in December. We're gonna go Fitness Boxing 4. I want to put a fun bonus one here that would probably take the place of October or December. No one's talking about this one. This is a Murky Trout channel exclusive, but a Rosalina game. I would not be surprised if Nintendo makes a Rosalina game. I have no idea what this game would be or how it would play. I feel like a Rosalina game would almost be too big of an IP to fit up next with like the Fire Emblem and Ocarina of Time remake. I think they would want to do more smaller throwaway games, even though Princess Peach Showtime was almost a throwaway game in itself. But at the same time, this is the year of the Mario Galaxy movie. We have the Yoshi game. If we get the Star Fox game, Rosalina is kind of the only other character that I feel like they would make a game for, much like Princess Peach Showtime. Like if Princess Peach got a game, really targeting a younger female audience, I think Rosalina game would also be another one that targets a younger female audience. Like why do young guys get like Mario and Zelda? Not that like young girls can't play Mario and Zelda, they absolutely do, but just like Princess Peach Showtime is really targeting that, right? And they only have in Nintendo's catalog one game that really targets that audience. And so I think Rosalina would give them an opportunity to have a second one that targets that audience, to be a different type of game than Princess Peach Showtime. I actually played Princess Peach Showtime, and it's not that great of a game. Like it's not that fun, it's not that clunky, and I feel like you can give more credit to the audience that they can have other options of games, right, instead of like just that. So I think there is room in their catalog for another type of game targeted towards that audience. And so take Rosalina. We have the Mario Galaxy movie. Every character in the Mario Galaxy or in the Mario movies kind of have a game to be marketed along with the movie. And so, we got Yoshi in the Mysterious Book, we got Star Fox. I think we can get a Rosalina game. And I can totally see that taking place of the October or December slot. Because I don't think this is going to be a big game that grown men are going to be playing, much like Princess Peach Showtime, but they sure as heck are going to buy it and review it and talk about it and tell you it's not that great of a game, even though it's not targeted for them. And this would be the year ideally to release it because of the Mario Galaxy movie, not to wait another year. This would be the year to do it. But I'm sure Princess Peach Showtime came out in 2025. So again, I don't know how long this would have been cooking for a different game, but I don't know. I wouldn't bet too much money on that being there, but that's a bonus prediction. Rosalina game, I can totally see it happening, whether it be this year or next year. Yeah, if it happens, you heard it here first. There you guys have it. That's my first Nintendo Direct prediction video. So we'll see. Maybe before I even get to post this, they're going to announce the Nintendo Direct, and it's in May, and I'm just totally wrong. But I don't know. This will be fun just to get on record on what I think is going to happen based on just the climate right now and the current rumors and just what I think is going to happen realistically. And just, I don't know, we'll just see what happens. Do I get any of these right? Do I get any of them wrong? Do I get the games right, but the dates wrong? Or I don't know, but I think it'll just be fun. So, whether or not this gets pushed in the algorithm or not, because a lot of people are doing prediction videos or not, maybe this one's just for me. I don't know, but I want to go back and see this and just see what happens, right? So I'm going to put this out there. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you agree with any of my predictions, if you have any pushback, or if you would you change up the dates? Is Fire Emblem, you think that's going to be June, or you think that's going to be August? I don't know. Let's talk about it in the comments. Leave a like, subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.